Let's take a look at the architecture of the project. The blue one is the difference I made in the fab business. If you use it again, they should be in the difference screen of your engine. The 3 red ones are historical documents. Asset is the asset used by the market, so it is necessary to use it to buy the fab business. ARPG is a game feature, corresponding to the ARPG mode. It has almost only data in it, very little logic code. It is only an example of the case. If you need to pack your project, you can remove these 3. ARPG core is the core code of this model. The function that combines all the differences. ARPGI is a virtual UI. It also only shows the function usage of the difference. I will create a game feature to complete this case. It is equivalent to ARPG, but I will use Titan's assets. If the difference should not be automatically opened, please choose. Then add the application. You can directly copy the application of ARPG. Open the main switch of Titan. First, change the game mode. Game mode can be used in a normal game mode, but it is convenient to expand in the future. So add the ARPG game mode. Hard, choose Lyra Hard. Point uses the gas character of the 3 interface. There is also a type of die ability system here. It is usually used as an NPC monster. Gas point is used as a word, and is still in development. In fact, the whole gameplay is written in RRJ core. Creating a character is to display some details. Player controller needs to use the common player controller type to use push widget. Player controller and player state are already created in the ARPG port. Game state is copied from ARPG core. Use the game feature in the architecture from ARPG to modify it into Titan. Now add the camera and model to the character. Of the character. Add the mapping input of the input and the operation of the movement and mouse. Now you can run the effect. However, the actual project cannot be directly copied and the data needs to be driven. The data can be used in 2 forms, data table and data assets. And I use data assets. Create an ARPG point data asset. It is a type of advanced gas. You can add fragments to expand the data. Fragments can be created according to their own project needs. For example, this fragment added a size of an ancient network. Here, add an ARPG point data, choose Hero Titan. Then go through Find Fragment to get it. You can set the network in the data. Here is just the use of fragment. We can directly use ARPG. Add the ARPG PONEX component to the character. You can set the data on the component. Open the code of this component. It has the iGame framework interface. The official detailed document shows that it is about the same as Lyra's PONEX component. But I expanded its use in the map. You can add and manage the initialized state in the map. Find the character in the ARPG core. Here, I have added more states. In the beginning event, I registered every state of the event. When the check event is set up, the change state event will be set up. The first state will enter the init state at the beginning. As soon as the TOR is returned, it will enter the second state. For example, in the first state, the pwn needs to be added to complete so that it can enter the second state. In the second state, check if the controller has already controlled the pwn. Is the pwn data set up? In the third state, check if the ability system is set up. If it is a player controller, the client will check the input component. If it is a player controller, the client will check the input component. This is because the next step needs to be used. If not, it may cause a mess. For example, in this step, the initialization attribute and the add function need to be tied in. Therefore, it is necessary to wait for ASC and input components to enter. To complete each step, check again. Because these objects add-on sequence will be configured, the network speed will be affected. Check in more times. You can look at the code in detail. In the above, it is just to show the creation process of character. Now I change its complex to RGB character. Most components and output functions in the project are added by game feature. There are many actions here that I will explain in detail later. For example, the components will be hung in add component. Add, increase, input mapping are not used in the map, but use action. I will first copy the action of RPG here. Then display the creation character, attribute, function, equipment, and objects. I will explain each of them. Because this will influence the content of RPG, so I will recommend using the wrong object first. Now we are going to deal with the character data. Similarly, copy the hero data in RPG. There is a name here, icon, function, animation, model, appearance, and so on. Change the name, then the name you get on the UI is this. The model will still use the required standard white man. This model only keeps one mask. You can create it from the standard model editing. After that, the animation is re-elected to move the image, so the body is empty. The depth rendering channel of mesh will be opened, otherwise the blur animation will be distorted. Next, I will modify the skin to change the appearance of the character. Let's zoom in first. Now, let's make the whole process better. I want this Titan's view to appear in the mode selection here. Find the value of the keycap. Change the name to Titan. And add the game feature you want to use. The picture is still the same as the RPG. The keycap is now unable to choose the Titan. It is because the data is not read. Open the project settings, find the asset management tool. The map assets will be fixed to red. This type should be the map. After restart, you can choose this keycap. Run in the main keycap. Now you can see the Titan. Wait for it to enter the scene. Because we haven't set the loading UI yet. Open the project settings, find the loading screen. Detach the original one to the Titan. Change its picture. Then add it and you will see this interface. Add some more movements. I'm afraid I'll be late. I'll be late. I'll be late. I'll be late.